Mm-hmm. Oh, all right, here we go. All right. Oh, I meant to do it as a banner. Oh, no, wrong one. Crap. Puppy cock.
It's all good, man.
Wah, 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 wah. By golly. How did that happen?
It's always something when you go live.
Yeah, I didn't cover all my bases. What's up with that? All right. By the way,
Yeah.
Thanks for this is Wise Guys Entertainment. This is your host Wyman.
Yes.
We are here with our special guest Dutton.
Yep.
Justin Dutton.
Yep.
Creator of Unstitched. I'm going to throw together a thing real quick here. I got this. Huh. Oh, I almost lost it. Okay. Yeah, so I got that. How you doing today?
I'm doing all right.
Up. Come in. Forgot to check mark that box. There we go. Yeah, there we go. Whew. All right, that's what I was looking for. Hi, Johnny Rando. Welcome back. Thank you so much for being on the show. We've got our special guest Justin Dutton, creator of Unstitched, and it says part 1 of 2. So, are you in alluding to part 2 of 2 being your second campaign?
Yes.
All
absolutely. Right. Because when I did Unstitched, I essentially wrote it as like 100 and something pages. And I have financed pretty much all the art myself so far. And we are actually almost done with all the art, to be honest with you.
Oh my gosh, that's nice.
We have my artist Lord just turned in page 45, 6, and 7 out of 48, and we have 1 through 44 colored.
Whoa. So, go ahead.
But like, unfortunately, like February, my grandpa passed away.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's all right. He was old, and it was his time. But kind of distracting myself. I did like a poll on like Twitter and Facebook. I was like, hey, should I just kind of push for like all 100 pages, or break it up in half? And the vote majority was break it up in half. So I was like, about 48 pages was a good breaking point. So the second part's going to be like 50 something.
Oh, okay. So is that like your internal monologue trying to sort out how to handle the project with this other stuff on your mind?
Yeah. More or less, like, kind of at the time it was just a thing to kind of keep me a little bit distracted from just kind of focusing on the sadness or whatever. But I kind of like the whole idea of doing a big, like, probably for every Unstitched story, create a big story that's like 100 something pages, and then break it up in half. That way I can do like 2 variant covers for part 1, 2 variant covers for like the second part, and then just do a collected edition, much kind of like how you see with local comic shops, how you have the single trades or single issues, and then you have the trade. except instead of like single issues, it'd be like mini graphic novels, and then you have the big graphic novel. It's kind of what I'm going to be trying to do.
Oh, okay. And that's pretty impressive. And you said, actually, you let's hold on. All right, so
Yeah,
the campaign is has got 6,000 fixed goal, and I take it that's a combination of shipping costs, printing costs, and also to help cover the cost of the money you put up front to hire the artists and
yeah.
the talent involved.
Yeah, it's more or less like I have 22 pages lettered. It's to help with letter the rest of the book, printing and shipping. Um, and I mean, probably won't do a fresh stretch goal, like bonus thing until about 10,000, just to kind of reimburse me a little bit.
So, how did you? What is your background, or what actually spurred on Unstitched? What was the origin of the Indiegogo book?
All right, so in college, I actually went to school for 3D animation and game design.
Oh, nice.
Yes. Unfortunately, though, the super long hours at the computer, like basically 12 hours working in like a 3D space and stuff, it just kept triggering migraines for me. But I took what I learned in animation, and I'm like, hey, um, comics are essentially storyboards, and storyboards are pretty much pre-animation. So I was able to transition some of that knowledge and animation into comics. Plus, I mean, I really like comics, and I just really wanted to be a storyteller no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
Now for Unstitch, when I told like some family, I'm like, hey, I got some money saved up, and I'm gonna do my first comic. My sisters at the time had her baby that was like one, Eleanor. She was like, you should do a comic for your niece.
Oh.
And I was like, but all my scripts are already adult. I don't. I mean, they're like stuff that would be like on Vertigo or Max. They are not kid friendly. Oh boy, I gotta go to the drawing board for this, because I was like, all right, you know what? I got several scripts I'm sitting on. They're adult scripts. I like them, and I'll probably one day we'll get to them. But I was like, all right, I like the challenge of doing something for my niece. I was like, I can do it. I can do a kids thing, I think. So I just kind of remembered what I liked as a kid, and I kind of like the darker tales. And again, from my like animation background, Don Bluth was a huge inspiration for me. Like All Dogs Go to Heaven, Secret of Nim.
Yeah, those are cool.
Fido Goes West. You know, like they were animated for kids, but they just had like that slight grittier. And definitely, like if they came out today, especially All Dogs Go to Heaven, I don't think it would be like rated PG for kids.
Yeah.
I mean, especially that movie, because like the first 13 minutes, you have like a prison break, gunshots, gambling, smoking, drinking, getting drunk, and then the whole murder, and like that's just 13 minutes.
Yeah. These days, everyone will throw a fit, start a riot.
But so I was like, hey, I knew I was gonna do a darker tale, and I was like, all right, well, my niece is like 3 now, and she likes reading and stuff. So I was like, what if it was a like a darker, almost like a fairy tale. So a bit of a like Guillermo del Toro's like Pan's Labyrinth
Okay. All
came to
right.
mind.
Hmm.
And like through Pan's Labyrinth, I thought of, well, typical thing of like, I don't know why, but like a teddy bear came to my mind. Something like more fairy tale esque. And then I don't know, I dashed in like some Rise of the Guardians from DreamWorks, Toy Story and like Coraline, and put it all in a blender in my own mind, and boom, we got Unstitched.
That's interesting. One of the things I got a kick out of is, you told your sister about it, and she's like immediately on board and
Yeah.
suggested you do a book for her daughter, your niece,
Yep.
as opposed to the usual story where, family is typically your family and friends are typically the first to, you know, discourage you, or maybe not so much discourage, but try and
Yeah, I understand. They kind of go, "Are you sure you want to waste that time and money?
yeah.
I mean, are you? Will you be rich and famous doing it? Don't you want to?" Yeah, they try to nudge you in a direction that's a little bit more safe financially and
Oh yeah.
something. Yeah, I understand.
But that kicks ass that your sister was all for it and even came up with the idea that you make something geared towards children.
Yep.
And all those
And that is
movies.
why in Unstitch, the main character, the little girl,
Huh?
she is designed after my niece. Of course, I kind of had to like age her up a little bit in the story because my niece is 3 now, and I'm like, maybe if I make her like 5 in the story, I can kind of you can do a lot more vocabulary with a 5-year-old than you can a 3-year-old. Um, but she looks a little bit like my niece, same name, so hopefully when my niece grows up a little bit more, she'll really like it.
Do you anticipate? Uh, I might have. I'm not sure if I read about it or not, but do you anticipate having something in the front or in a forward or something dedicating it specifically to your niece?
Um, I'm still debating on if I should put it in like part 1 or if I do like if this gets funded and like part 2 gets funded and I kind of do the trade paperback or like I should say the bigger version that has like the entire story plus
Mhm.
like extras in the back, have that and that one. I'm still kind of debating on which book to put it in.
Right. Either way, that sounds cool.
Yep.
Now let's play the intro video. I presume since you have an animation background, that you created this whole intro video yourself.
Um, one of my friends helped me.
Okay.
One of my friends, because I went to school in animation. I know tons of people in like film and graphic design and stuff. And my friend Leanna, who's a film or was a film student, she's a professional editor now.
Oh
She
wow.
she did most of the video. I just kind of gave her like the more or less storyboard, like plot points of how I kind of want it going. And my buddy Sean, who went to school for animation as well with me, he did the voiceover. And when you play the video, it's got that epic voice.
Okay. All right. Let's play it.
Hey, I think the
Oh.
yeah.
Yeah, it's muted.
The darkness. Fear.
Might want to rewind it a little bit.
Yeah.
Fear. The enemy.
It's all
Her
good.
face kind of reminds me of Powerpuff Girls.
Yeah. I get that a lot with my artist Laura's Powerpuff Girl vibes, and I'm like, I can dig it. I'm a big Gendry fan. I've also heard like the way I've shown like some of the concept, like especially early concept.
Uh-huh.
The darkness reminded some of my friends of the father from like Codename Kids Next Door.
Oh yeah. All right. Gotcha. Yeah, yeah.
Fear takes form in the darkness. The darkness feeds off screams. Fear is the enemy of childhood wonderment, built on hopes and dreams. So remember, in the terror of night, to protect the child, protect the light. Try not to become unstitched.
Hi, I'm Dutton, writer and creator of Unstitched. It's a brand new story that was created by inspiration of my niece, my love of 80s, like dark, gritty Don Bluth films. And in fact, that's what Unstitched is. It's a dark fantasy, all ages story. It's a mix of Rise of the Guardians, Toy Story, and Coraline, all put together. I have a talented, wonderful artist named Laura Rimbasambati. She's even doing one of the covers. The other cover is a variant done by the highly talented Jason Brubaker. You know him from The Mind, from Sithra, plenty of other things. Unstitched, part 1 of 2 is coming out soon. It's going to be 48 pages, with part 2 being 50-some pages later on. We got some cool tiers with the book. Besides just getting 1 or 2 covers, you can either get this as a poster. This original art piece will also be for sale. And if you don't get the poster, this will also be the back cover as well. We
That's
have
pretty awesome.
mini print that's going to be on the higher tiers, like the 150 tier, which this is going to be a teddy bear based off the Boogeyman with the glow in the dark eyes, limited to 10. You get both covers, this poster, and a mini print.
Oh, shit. Damn. Oh, gosh. That is insanely cool. Oh, man. Holy cow. All right. So, is it a little girl exploring her dreams and them these creatures attempting to come into the quote unquote real world and her trying to thwart them?
No, it's all happening in the real world. You know how like Toy Story, the toys are alive, but when people look at them, they're not.
Yep.
All right, so I wanted to play kind of with that like Toy Story, Monster Inc. type, and like the Boogeyman is real. The darkness, like bed bugs, the monster in the closet, they all exist, and more or less there's like a hierarchy. Like bed bugs are at the bottom totem pole. It's like monster in the closet, the Boogeyman, the darkness, and like dreams are extremely powerful in the world of Unstitched. And like kids with more powerful dreams, it's kind of like also a double-edged sword because they have high imagination, so they can have high fear as well. And that's what the darkness feeds off of.
Hmm.
But luckily, the Dream King, who's kind of like my Sandman, he's created terrifically effective dreaming defenders, or otherwise known as teddies. And they are sent out kind of like almost like a knight to protect like a child while they sleep.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yep. And like the more powerful the dreamer, the more at risk the child is of like being attacked by the darkness. So not every kid has a quote unquote teddy, but when like one like one is attacked or might be attacked, they are sent a teddy. as like a protector.
Hmm. Yeah, I like the style of art. So you're the creator of the story person, and then you've got an artist. Does your artist do the sketching, inking, and colors?
Yes. She does digital, so it's more or less kind of like straight ink because it's digital. Um, and the way we work is she does about 3 pages in a week.
Wow.
And she'll show me, and I pretty much go, yeah, I like this. No, or you know, I'll I'll see it and go, hey, what if we attack this panel on like this page from this angle instead? Because I think now, looking at it, we can improve upon it. And she'll be like, yeah, you know what? Actually, I like that. So, but once we like kind of figure out, hey, yeah, these pages look nice, I give her the thumbs up, and then the next week she colors.
Nice.
And I mean, her art style is just, it works so well for like a almost like a grim fairy tale type story. And
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
honestly don't think Unstitched would look or feel as unique if it was like another artist. In all honesty, she just like it perfect, like glove in hand. This story and her art style.
Yeah. Yeah. It did. That's pretty impressive.
And like this first page we're looking at is like her parents tucking her in, and it's not lettered, but like the baby's crying in the hallway. Like the dad's not very good with the baby, so and the mom kind of leaves, and Eleanor's kind of like left not getting her bedtime story in like page 1.
Big ol' eyes.
Yes, added that, and I think that's one reason of about working with her. Of yeah, the script, she'll go, hey, I think this can be more dynamic if we did this. I'm like, cool. Or she'll do something. And I'm like, hey, I like what you did, and that gave me an idea. What if we did this? And we just kind of like go back and forth on just making it like the best we can possibly make it. And she added the eyes, and I love that effect.
Do you have someone else entirely doing lettering?
Yes.
All right.
Eric Weathers.
Oh, Eric.
Yep. Who pretty
The,
much is the letter in chief. He'll be doing the letters. And I got like the first 21 pages lettered, but I gotta do some like when you get the letters, you go, oh, okay, I see a grammar error, or I don't like how that dialogue looks on this panel,
yeah.
and doing some changes and edits and stuff.
Yeah. Is he doing all the lettering digitally or by hand?
He does it digitally.
Okay.
And then after these first like 3 pages where you see like the darkness kind of scare Eleanor and her run to her like parents, we then cut into Dreamland, where we see Scruff, who is the one in the top hat. He's kind of like a in charge figure, and the other two are about to compete on like. You ever seen Naruto?
Oh, no. Is that how it's pronounced? Naruto?
Yeah.
I keep wanting to call it Naruto.
I think some people people call it that too. But they're essentially like teddies in training right here. So you're about to see them kind of do a almost like a Roman gladiator coliseum of those two doing a contest, trying to earn the title of being a teddy. Because right now, to scruff they're just stuffings.
Definitely looks like a fun ride.
Yep.
I like these facial expressions.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
And they're just fighting little tiny pillow bedbug creatures.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. This top center one.
Yeah.
And the flying. Oh, dang.
And I love the expression in the background. Like, okay, so that just happened. I'm not topping that.
Oh my gosh, how funny is that? First 48 hours backer raffle. All right, so
Yeah.
this is way long gone.
This is past. But we did a foil print based on the Jason Brubaker. That's going to be 13 by 19, and back in number 17, they won this, and this will be absolutely free, just added into their order.
Whoa.
And the only way like the raffle will happen is if they ask for like a refund. So therefore they pulled their backer number out because they canceled their order. So that's the only way I would kind of redo the raffle.
Right. That makes sense. So does that mean the entire thing is
everything like all the eyes, all these red eyes will be foiled.
Huh, okay. And then the rest of it is it gonna be like a glossy finish or a matte finish?
That one I am unsure of because Shay over at like Red Valkyrie YouTube, she's actually doing the print.
Wait, she's doing the print?
Yes. This print, she, as like a favor, she is actually doing this.
She knows how to do foil?
Yes, apparently.
Damn.
Which I have also seen, like, because she's shown, she had a campaign, and I forgot, her name's like Raven, but the comic was called like Mashi the Lazy Witch.
Yeah.
And she did a foil print for that.
Oh my gosh, how cool is that?
So like think like Mashi's like she has like a lollipop, like the lollipop's foiled, like her glasses and a few other things.
Wow. Hold on just a sec.
Yeah, no problem.
All right. Sorry about that. Man, that's going to be so cool. I hope the winner does a video or something, or
I'm not gonna say like the winner's name, but I'm pretty sure he will because typically when he gets cool stuff, he kind of like shows little videos of when he gets cool stuff.
Right on. Right on. Pretty sweet, pretty sweet. Let's see. Oh shoot! I'm sorry. One moment.
Yeah, no problem.
Risks and challenges. Other ways you can help. Cool, cool, cool. Let's play this video again. The intro video. All right. It's not muted.
Fear takes form in the darkness. The darkness feeds off screams. Fear is the enemy of childhood wonderment, built on hopes and dreams. So remember, in the terror of night, to protect the child, protect the light. Try not to become unstitched.
Hi, I'm Dutton, writer and creator of Unstitched. It's a brand new story that was created by inspiration of my niece, my love of 80s, like dark, gritty Don Bluth films. And in fact, that's what Unstitched is. It's a dark fantasy, all ages story. It's a mix of Rise of the Guardians, Toy Story, and Coraline, all put together. I have a talented, wonderful artist named Laura Rimbas Humbati. She's even doing one of the covers. The other cover is a variant done by the highly talented Jason Brubaker. You know him from A Mind, from Sithra, plenty of other things. Unstitched, part 1 of 2 is coming out soon. It's going to be 48 pages, with part 2 being 50-some pages later on. We got some cool tiers with the book. Besides just getting 1 or 2 covers, you can either get this as a poster. This
Jeez, that's so
original
cool.
art piece will also be for sale. And if you don't get the poster, this will also be the back cover as well. We have a mini print that's going to be on the higher tiers, like the 150 tier, which this is going to be a teddy bear based off the Boogeyman with the glow in the dark eyes, limited to 10. You get both covers, this poster, and a mini print.
There's that one piece that I freaking love, but I think it's already been sold.
The poster.
Yeah.
Well, at least the original poster. The original art, I should say.
Right.
I mean, you can still buy a poster. And in fact, I think it's on. Well, so my buddy Caleb actually did that poster for me. And it was funny because he, I showed him like concept art and stuff, and I showed him a couple pages, and he actually did this originally as fan art, and I fell in love with it because it looked dope.
Yeah.
And I was like, I will buy this from you. And I asked him if I could make a poster out of it and stuff. He said yeah, and essentially, fan art became commissioned.
That's freaking awesome. I totally love it too. You made the right decision.
Yeah.
It is just so freaking cool. I am so sad that I didn't hear about it sooner to have taken advantage of that tier.
You know what? A lot of it is actually on me because so when you have the pre-launch page, I had like 100 and no, like somewhere like 220 in the mailing list, and like the day of launch, it was very hectic. It was like my birthday. Family came over. I was like, "Hey, I'm launching." So they were doing like construction on the road, so like the internet was lagging.
Oh man.
So I was like, "Crap! I got like 30 minutes before launch." So I closed up my laptop. I drove because I live out in like the woods. My mom lives out in like the city, so she has better internet. Like it's 4 times as fast. So I went to hers, and in the whole rush, instead of like transferring over the mailing list like a smart person would do, and I actually sent out an email like, "Hey, we're launching this day. We're live. Let everyone know." I just launched, and I missed out on like pretty much all the months of work of I had a mailing list, but I got the Indiegogo, and actually they opened up my mailing list, so actually I have it re-download now, because when I tried downloading it with the internet messing up, it like failed to download. So more or less it was a corrupt file, and like my niece deleted it. So hopefully today when I get off with you, I can email everyone that was on the mailing list going, "Hey, my boo-boo, I messed up," which might be the reason why I'm not funded yet. And hopefully we get funded in the next few days once I send out the mailing list email. So I'm going to plan on doing a I apologize raffle. So if I hit 100 backers, I will do a drawing myself, or I'll get my buddy Caleb to do another drawing, and I will raffle that one out. It won't be a foil print, but it will either be a charcoal drawing from me,
Oh, you do. Cool.
or my buddy Caleb who did the poster. I'll ask him, and I'll commission him to do another drawing. It won't be a foil print, like I said, but it'll be original, like commission art.
So that poster was traditional media, right?
Yes.
Yeah. All right.
And like markers and everything.
Oh, all right. Markers.
Yeah.
Those are
Yeah.
I was curious about markers.
Yeah. The colors are not digital. They are on the paper.
Is that 11 by 17?
Yes.
Okay. Let's see here.
And like these mini prints will be about the size of the book.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yep. And in fact, I had another mini print that will be given to everyone that was on the mailing list who backs.
Mm-hmm.
But I think because of like my boo-boo, I'm just gonna give that mini print to anyone who backs as well.
Is the mini print this one with the green?
Yes.
Okay.
And then I have an additional mini print that was a mailing list exclusive that's not on here.
Oh, okay.
But anyone who backs will also get that as well. And if you want, if you want to share my screen real quick, I can actually show you that mini print.
Yeah, I was trying to get a closer look at that and see what was going on. Kind of looked like some spirits surrounding someone.
Yep. All right. So, share screen. All right.
Oh, there it is.
Oops. All right. So this is the one that's in the backer tier, the dreamer tier, and the 155, the big dreamer tier. So you have like Eleanor running away with a nightlight. You have her teddy, and then you have like the darkness and like some little mini bed bugs in the background, and it just is absolutely killer when it comes to like amazing.
Neat stuff.
and then I will show you the one. This one right here was going to be for everyone on the mailing list, but again, I think I'm going to give this out to everyone as well, and like any tier backed will get this as well.
Well, that'd be cool. Although I think to a certain extent, it might be a good idea to still do something special for those who signed up
Yeah.
on the mailing list.
Oh yeah. What I'm thinking about doing is people that were on the mailing list.
Uh-huh.
I might do a because it's like 200 and I can do 200. A head sketch thank you note.
Oh, that would be cool. Yeah, that would be cool. I mean, because you got to celebrate the people who were there from the start.
Oh yeah. Like a hey, thank you for all that you did, just a thank you, and then a head sketch of possibly just Eleanor or Eleanor and her teddy. But I'm like if I got everyone on the mailing list, which is like about 200, I'm like that two heads times 200. That's a lot of heads.
Yeah, it is. It is.
But it's worth it if definitely if I get funded and if I hit that backer number. But I definitely want to do another raffle at. If I get 100 backers, I'm gonna do another raffle for sure.
Cool. That would be really nice. Yeah, definitely. We got to get this thing funded.
Yes.
Everybody back this book. You're at 32 backers, 2470, 41% of the way there. So we've got these perks. As I tell everybody, I really like it when a campaign organizer has a featured tier because it gives everyone the gist of what is the best bang for your buck, and also helps you, get the, feel like you're not missing out on something.
Yep. And our feature tier is both covers. So Laura's cover, Jason Brubaker's cover, fold out poster, mini print for $55. So essentially that's that's
a really good deal.
Yeah.
Now the mini print is the size of the book, right?
About that size.
And then approximately that size, maybe a little smaller.
Yeah.
And the book itself is the standard current comic book size.
Yep. Like 6.75 by 10 something.
And then the poster is what, 11 by 17? Folded in
because
half.
I'm doing I'm still working on the dimensions on that one, but I want to try to make it 11 by 17. Just fold it in half or fold it in 4, depending on what I need to do to make it fit.
Okay. We've got the Unstitched poster. Yeah, I freaking love this design. It's so cool. What are the dimensions of this?
It'll be the same as in the Dreamer tier.
Okay.
Yep. It'll be about 11 by 17.
Any chance of we haven't gone through all the tiers, but any chance of getting this in a 24 by 36 movie poster size?
Maybe.
That's something I'd be interested in. I don't know what the demand is, but I don't know if the word has really spread, but I heard some creators suggest that maybe 24 by 36 be like the standard for Comicsgate posters. In addition to anyone who wants to offer the 11 by 17
Yeah.
folded in half. I like the smaller posters, but since I like to decorate my walls, I'm trying to do 24 by 36 on my movie posters.
I will. Actually, I haven't thought of that, and I really like that idea. Especially if I did I just have to like do some research on the pricing.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah, absolutely.
But if I do that, I might offer a movie poster of the cover art of either one, because I have some like, in my opinion, my covers are some of the best looking covers in Comicsgate. Actually, just in indie comics in general.
They are good. They are good.
I really love the kind of like the old school like Jack Kirby style covers of a cover telling a story.
Yeah.
Not just having a character look cool, like in an action pose, but actually like tell a story. Like some of my favorite covers were like Sabretooth jumping at Wolverine. Like, because oh snap, this issue right here, I don't know exactly what's happened or what's gonna happen, but I do know they're gonna fight.
Yeah.
Or you have like these moments in store, like just looking at the cover, and for the most part they say don't judge a book by its cover, but unfortunately for comics it's the opposite. You
Yes,
kind of
medium.
you have to judge the book by its cover.
Yeah.
And if the cover is lame, I almost feel like the book itself might be lame. And that's why variant covers sell a ridiculous amount, is because you judge a book on its cover in comics.
Yeah, you got to. There's no other way. I mean, it's not like dating where you have the luxury of getting to know someone over the phone or something.
Yep.
Comics is a medium that's all about the visual. It's what pulls you in, and then hopefully it's got a story to back it up.
It is, and I am very confident that Unstitched's story backs it up completely.
Out of curiosity, have you been a writer for a long time? Have you gotten into short stories? Have you written novels?
I actually have not. The only thing I've written is more or less like animated shorts back in class.
Nice.
Where I kind of came up with the story, like animation group project story, and we went with my idea because everyone had to create one, and then like the teacher picked like the two best in the class, and then from like the two best, everyone else in the group had a vote out of like those two.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, for sure.
Which, I mean, when the class is only 10, it just means like 8 people sucked, and I mean, I can't say much. Actually, I know some people in that group that are legitimately actually working in animation, and I pivoted to comics, so I can't call them losers. If especially one of my buddies, his name's Jacob. He actually has a video game out on a like PS4 and Switch.
Whoa, really?
Yeah. It's called like Spirit of the North, I think.
That kind of sounds familiar. Is it based like manga?
No, it's so Spirit of the North. You ever play the game Journey on PlayStation?
No. Is that the one where you're literally going through this endless landscape that doesn't seem like there's barely anyone around?
Yep.
And you're literally spending hours upon hours looking for something to do?
Kind of. It's it seems like a void of like desert and stuff, but as you travel the desert, there's like tiny little puzzles, and then slowly a story kind of builds, and like it only takes like I think 4 hours to play the entire game.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
damn.
Like 4 or 6 hours. But those 4 and 6 hours, it's actually a very like, because the music is soothing and like pleasant, and there's and the way like the story like develops and unfolds, it's extremely nice. And it might have been like 10 hours, but it's a small indie game. And my buddy Jacob, Spirit of the North, it has that kind of feel, but instead you're a fox. Traveling. Yeah.
Shoot. I think I saw that as a game that's available.
It's also available now on like a Nintendo Switch,
That might not
PC,
be.
and PlayStation is where it came out on first. But yep.
Because I think it's now available for Mac, and that's the kind of computer I use these days, for the most part.
Yep. You play as a fox, and then you kind of have like the spirit fox format as well. It's a fun, like, nice little game, and I think it's like the price point. It's an indie game, so it's cheaper than a AAA game and stuff. But if you want a nice, relaxing, like spend a couple hours, just like, hey, I'm gonna zen for a little bit playing this game. Boom. So back on Stitch, buy my buddy's game, Spirit of the North. double promo right there.
For sure. For sure. Ooh, slide it right in there.
Yep.
So we got the Laura Ramazzotti cover.
Yep. She's the artist on the inside as well.
Yeah.
If you want, you might actually want to share your screen to show. Oops, sorry about that.
Oh, shoot. Yeah.
Yep.
The Laura Ramazzotti cover.
Yep, and I really like her cover. It's has a like a nice like showdown of, you see the darkness. Below him you see like the boogeyman with the unstitched teddies on his back, and he's kind of leaping at the at our Teddy. And then below him you see the monster in the closet, and he's sitting on actually like a pile of unstitched teddies.
Oh, geez, so cool. So that 48-page book with this cover is $25. Next, we have the Jason. Is it? Did you say
Brubaker? Yep. And he actually like, so he's not Comicsgate, but he's been doing like the Comicsgate formula before Comicsgate. Like, he's had his own YouTube channel for like since 2015. He's been doing like Kickstarters since 2015. And he has like several books out. Remind, I think, was actually like the first comic he did like full time, because he used to work as an animator for DreamWorks on like Comic. Yeah. But then he was like, hey, I want to do comics. So he started his own channel. And Remind, I think, was actually the first comic on Kickstarter to hit 6 digits.
Holy moly.
And that was like back in 2015. And I think because of his success, that's, when people kind of realized, hey, you can crowdfunding. But then I think people also realized, how come I can't get this money? And, he has a YouTube channel, which my internet's getting better. So I'm going to be doing my own YouTube channel here shortly. Because I'm able to live stream with you at home, and it's not breaking up when, like a couple months ago, when trying to promote the mailing list, I was like, all right, I got to make sure like no one's home. I got to make sure like my phone's not on Wi-Fi, PlayStation's off. So, my internet's getting better and stuff. So I feel more confident on going, okay, I can make a 10-minute video and it doesn't take 8 hours to upload.
Do you basically have to use satellite, an ISP that provides satellite internet?
It's offered, and unfortunately, I just have and I might use it just because it's slightly faster than the internet I do have. But
Well,
the issue is, when you live out in the country, it's nice and peaceful, but then you go, oh, the internet sucks, and you have very, very few options. And I think the worst part is like Spectrum is literally their cutoff is a mile away from my house.
oh, geez.
And they offer like I think 50 or 100 megs, and I'm like, it's so close, yet so far.
Yeah, it's like you have to. It's as though you have to set up like a station, like an outhouse,
Yep.
and set up your modem and router there, and then maybe half a mile from that towards your house, set up a repeater, and then install another repeater in your house, and then try to pull the signal that way. I hate when that kind of stuff happens. You're just so close that you'd expect to be able to have coverage, but you're not.
Yep. You're just like, oh, so I have like 10 megs, and I'm like, dang, a mile away, I could get 50.
Yeah, I mean, I'm more or less near a major city, so I'm getting 400.
Nice.
But,
I miss when I lived like back in Raleigh, because that's where I went to college at. I was like, man, we had like 200 megs. Things were just instant. But I kind of also like the peace and quiet too, so it's a weird trade-off.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I still remember back in the day when I used to rely on 9600 baud internet. That was those were the days.
I remember when you just turn on the internet and you just hear.
Yeah, good old dial-up, and
then you go, who's on the phone?
Oh man, yeah.
And you're like, hey, I'm gonna watch this YouTube music video, and this 2-minute song, I'm gonna have it load, and I'll come back to it in like 6 hours.
Yeah. Oh man, that was painful. But everyone put up with it because it was like the newest thing.
Yep. So like within those 6 hours, you'd come to him like, yeah, let me play a little tease. I got that first 10 seconds of the song. I got the first 30 seconds of the song.
Yeah.
Great. I don't miss those days at all.
Yeah. Whoa, what the? Wait, Jason Brubaker cover. So this is, hold on. How did this work out?
What?
So you were originally going to sell each book at?
No. So what happened was, all right, so I was going to sell it at 25. But it needs you to put like a different price. So I tried putting like 25.01, like a penny.
All right.
Just because it needed a different price or whatever, and I think it just changed that like 0.01 to it's a comma now, and I'm like, no, what? So now it looks like I'm trying to sell a book for like $1,000. I'm like, no, that was a point, not a comma. What? No. Again, it's one of those first campaigns, so you kind of learn. It just sometimes is easy to go, all right, if you're gonna sell it for 25 on the whole, when it says retail or whatever, just put 26 or something like that.
I think what
Because you put 25 twice or whatever, it goes, we want this to be, it gives you a weird error. So I was like, all right, let me try to do 01, and it's changed that point into a comma, and I'm like, no, what?
I think what they're trying to get you to do is, like, say you want to sell it for $20, well, $25.
Yep.
They ask you for another price, and you mark it up to like 35.
Yeah, that's what they want you to do. And I tried just going, all right, well, I'll just put like 10 cents or a penny. No, it does not. It does not want change.
Yeah.
So that's what I learned.
Yeah. So that way, when eventually somewhere during the campaign, I don't know if it kicks in when you switch to on demand from funding or where it actually happens, but it seems like everyone's forced to enter the two amounts, and then you start selling the product at the higher amount, and then
all right, so I'm gonna have to like go through and change some stuff, but yeah. And again, it was just Indiegogo first campaign. It'll get fixed, but yeah, it's not a $2,500 book.
Yeah, another way to look at it is it's 99% off. It's a hell of a deal.
Yep. There we go. And you know what is actually a really good deal is if you scroll down to the next tier, and so far no one's bought it yet, but I think this is actually an awesome tier that I have.
Retail bundle with buyback.
Yes.
But 3 copies of Jason Brubaker, 3 of Laura Ramazzotti, 6 mini prints, fully returnable with buyback, any unsold copies, willing to travel to any shop
in North Carolina, Virginia, or South Carolina for promotion.
What?
So if you have a local comic shop, show them this, because I don't know really any like Kickstarter or Indiegogo campaign out currently that's willing to go, hey, not only am I selling to you this at a discount, where it's essentially almost like 2 copies off plus free mini prints. But if you can't sell it, I will buy it back. So there is no real financial loss at all. No risk. All the risk is on me.
Holy crap. Holy crap.
And this is something that I don't see like anyone else doing.
Yeah, I don't see anyone else doing that either. That's pretty impressive.
That's kind of why I want people to, if you like the campaign, if you want to share the campaign, it's cool sharing on social media, but also share it with your local comic shop. Be like, hey, I saw this really cool campaign. He's selling like the books like $20-$25 or whatever. But he's got a discount where essentially it's 2 books free plus mini prints. That's going to be like, I'm going to bag and board these for the shops, put the mini prints like behind the books. So essentially any customer, and like if a shop did buy this and the customer bought it, it's bag and board, book and mini print. I think that's a pretty cool deal.
Yeah.
So, hopefully, some people will start going to the local comic shops and going, hey, I think this book looks cool. Plus, it's buyback. Like, Marvel's not doing that. They're just offering deep discounts.
Yeah. I can't help but wonder if they really are that deep a discount, because, I mean, they might have jacked up the price to begin with.
Yeah. I think the deep discount is we're not going to flood your shelves as much. That's their discount.
Yeah, that's what you're offering here is not something that the mainstream is doing right now.
I don't even think many indie people are doing, because I don't know how many people are willing to stand behind their book and going, whatever you can't sell, I will buy it back from you.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure either. I know the big thing is, focus on great customer service and do what you got to do to please as many people as you can within reason. But I don't remember seeing any other campaigns that formally declared, hey, I've got this buyback option if you need it.
Yep. And I think this is where Unstitched kind of edges out a little bit more on when it comes to customer service, because local comic, and plus I also know many shops were closed for a period of time.
Oh, yeah.
They are
Some-
now finally, after like a month being open, are finally starting to get some of the good titles. Because for like a month, it was like, oh, here's titles that don't sell. So they they opened up to, oh, great, really nothing. Like maybe we have Spider-Man, one book that people care about, and like 10 others no one does. So they're finally starting to get to that good stuff.
Right.
But it's like 3 months closed, a month open. Now you're finally getting to goods. So I know, some shops are struggling. And that is another reason why I'm doing a buyback. So, if you take a chance on me, like I believe in this book, and if you want to like follow me and believe in this book too, and take that chance, there literally is no risk in doing so if you're a shop.
Yeah.
And because I live in like the North Carolina area, going up one state or going down one state, I'm willing to do that.
That's pretty cool. I like that idea. I don't know if it's a thing nowadays, but has anyone asked, in all the streams you've been on, whether you, as part of the retail bundle, if you would consider including a standee to hold your books, like if they decided to buy a bunch?
No one has asked me that.
It's just a weird thing that came to mind. I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, no, like actually, and I'm glad you said that, because I no one's asked, and I honestly haven't thought of that.
I mean, because I don't know what the real estate is on inside comic book shops these days. It's been a while since I've physically visited one, but the ones I've been to do tend to have some space here and there along the walls and the windows, and like I'm thinking either, let's see, even the how do you pronounce her name again?
Laura Vindasamati.
Yeah, either that one because it's got the shadowy claws.
Yep.
Would make for a good backing of the top of the standee, or this one since it draws the eye. But I'm thinking if you went with this one, this would be just as good because it'll be like the claws are reaching out to grab the comic books, and in fact, you can do like a, how when it comes to like hard cardboard displays or that material they use for yard sale signs.
Yeah.
Where it's kind of a plasticky material. Well, you could have like the man. Sometimes it's easier for me to sketch something out than try and explain it in words. But you'd have like a backing for a standee, and then you could have the image printed on that. But then you'd additionally have the arms done in additional material to make it pop, either with a springy motion or just a static multi-layered image so that, oh crap. Yeah, it would be better if I sketched it out. Maybe I can come up with something. But and then of course you'd have 2 or 3 shelves that would hold the books themselves. So yeah. Okay, let's see here.
And on the children's hospital, any like this is essentially just like 6 covers of Laura's book, and any like extra profits will also go to the charity as well. And this goes to like children's hospitals like St. Jude's, Ronald McDonald's House, things like that. So like
Wow.
kids who are like sick and like in need and just kind of want like some sort of like escapism. Um, uh, and one person's actually donated. In fact, a local business in my area, they didn't buy a single tier. They did a like a donation, just on the top where you can just give money to the campaign.
Oh, okay.
And the amount that they gave, I've dedicated like 12 books under their name for Children's Hospital as well.
Oh, okay.
So right now, more or less, we have 18 books going to children's hospitals.
Oh, all right. Cool.
Because I mean, like it was very nice of them to give money because local business, friend of mine that runs it and stuff. But I was like, I don't. It just felt weird just taking money. So, I wanted to give back. So
Yeah, that's admirable. I mean, on one hand, it is intended to help you fund your book, so you have the
Yep.
finances to follow through and deliver.
Yep. But so we hit funding. I'm going to be giving like extra books to charity than what you see like on the back tier, which is 6.
So all right, so you basically get the first cover, the original cover.
Yep.
6 copies of that, and they all get donated to the hospital, right?
Yes.
Okay.
To children's hospitals.
All right. 6. So it's just the book, no mini posters, right? Well, yeah.
No, just because typically like books like that, when you donate them to hospitals, they kind of stay in hospitals.
Okay.
They kind of stay in the room and stuff.
Gotcha.
In case like next kid.
Mm-hmm.
So if I did like mini prints, then it would be more or less like the first kid got it, and then like all the other kids are like, oh, this is a cool book, and the first kid could just be like, I also got a print.
Yeah. Yeah. Sucks to be you. You should have gotten sick first. Ooh, cool.
And then we have the big dreamer tier, which is essentially everything plus the teddy bear, which boom, I got one already made right here.
Oh, let me see. Oops. Oh my gosh. Are you making these yourself?
On this, so I did not make this myself. The person who helped me with the video, Leanna, she actually, one of her friends does custom teddy bears.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
And she got and Leanna got me in contact with them, and they actually went, and I didn't even know the person, but they actually went to the same college I did. But they were just like they were below me grade wise, so that's why I never really knew them. And kind of like me, where I went from went to animation and pivoted to comics. I think they went for like graphic design, and then they pivot to a custom bear shop, which I think she actually mostly does like stuffed rabbits, but they're essentially teddy bears. They're just bunny designed. And I asked her if she did bears as well, and she was like, "Yeah, not often, but I do." And it's kind of like shaped in the like classic antique teddy bear sitting pose, which it can you can move its legs. And I know some people asked, it's not broken. These are actually sewn and like glued on to look like unstitched little teddy bears on its back, because it is the boogeyman, and that's what he does is he unstitches teddy bears because he's like the darkness's enforcer, and then he wears like the unstitched teddy bears like hide, like almost
Good here.
like you would like a lion's hide, like a trophy if you were a Roman gladiator. And the eyes glow in the dark, and I can tell you personally, it is pretty cool. Seeing the eyes glow in the dark, they have a nice green glow to them. And it's just like glow paint on the eye sockets right here. And definitely if you sleep with no lights on, like without your TV, the glow is it's very intense and it pops. Now, if you have your TV on or like a small light, then obviously the glow fades or dims and stuff. And if you have all your lights on, then you don't get the cool effect. But if you sleep out in the dark and you wake up in the middle of the night, you go, "Oh snap! What this?"
Oh man, that is pretty wicked.
And we have 6 left on those.
Yeah. Excuse me.
Which I'm actually really excited about, because I have a box that came yesterday that has 5 of them. So currently we have 6 made. The one I show off is mine to keep.
All right. Yeah.
So I
one.
have 10 for resale. But essentially I went ahead and I commissioned 6. Because I knew I would at least sell 5 for sure, because I just think it's a cool item. And I was very confident, like at least 5, and then I know some more people were asking about it, so I was like, all right, I'll bump it up to 10, and if I hit 10, then I'll commission the other 5.
Mm.
But I wanted to be a cool collectible, and
yeah.
That's the one thing that's a bit different when it comes to crowdfunding comics. Is you want a cool comic, you want a nice, like, gorgeous art, awesome story, great quality printing, but because it's crowdfunding and it is a different market than like going to a store, you want to add cool collectibles as well.
For sure. So you get both covers, the poster, the mini print, and the stuffed animal.
Yes, and he's about like 12 inches in height.
Whoa.
So, he's a good sized teddy bear.
So, trying to work this out in my head. So it's kind of like let's see. It's kind of like the Dreamer package, right?
Yes.
The teddy bear?
Yes.
So that's 55. So that's like 95 for the stuffed animal. If you.
Yeah, about that. And again, I mean, it's. I'm only gonna have like 10 made, so it's a collectible. And the person making them, she's even gonna make a plaque on, like, if I commission the other 5, and she'll do it if I don't even commission the other 5, but it'll be like a little small, like a
certificate of authenticity.
Yeah, that's like, this is 1 out of 10. This is 2 out of 10. This is 3 out of 10.
Nice. Yeah. Does she stitch in a little tag into the doll itself?
She did not.
Okay.
Um, and I mean, and that was on me. I know like some people like tags on their bears. I don't, so that's why I think you wanted to look cool on the shelf and not like, oh,
Right.
that's cool. Plus the tag.
You don't want to look at looking like it was purchased at a store.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Oh man, that's so tempting. I don't know.
Do it.
Do
Do it.
it.
Emperor Palpatine says, "Do it."
Oh man, 6,000 fixed goal. And then
And now that I got my mailing list because when you go from again like the pre-launch page to live, it kind of like locks you out of it or whatever. So now that I have access to the mailing list, emailing Indiegogo going, hey, when I launched I made a boo-boo. Can I get the mailing list back? So they were kind enough, and so I have that. So when I get off with you, I'll be like, hey, we launched 10 days ago. I messed up. But luckily for you, because you're on the mailing list, I'm going to give you a thank you note with a head sketch. And I'm going to do a raffle either by me or my buddy Caleb, who did the poster of like art, which I think I might do myself. And I'm still debating on doing like charcoal or just like regular, like my own pencils and inks and stuff.
uh-huh.
I mean, my style is not quite looking like Lars, but somewhere between like Gendry's art style, which her style looks kind of like that, from like Powerpuff Girls, Samurai Jack, and like a mix of like that and like Tim Burton. I would say that's like my art style, more or less.
Oh, okay. All right.
Very like I'm very sketchy, but it's a raffle going. Hey, the creator drew this. Yeah, it doesn't look as good as the artist he hired, but it's the thought that counts. It's like Christmas.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. This is the one that I'm kicking myself for because I didn't. I don't remember hearing about it until after it sold.
You know what?
Pitch poster 160.
The I almost feel bad. My father actually bought the poster.
Your dad got it?
Yes, because he was like, it looks nice, and I don't want original art leaving the house.
Oh.
So I was like, that's cool. I didn't expect him to do that. In all honesty, like it wasn't like a scam or any
schemes and scams.
Yep. Like I was just off where going, oh, let me look at the back is I was like, oh snap, what the poster sold, because I think the poster looks cool, especially like when you see it in person with my buddy who he drew it, he did the markers, and especially just the boogeyman's shadows and looks amazing. So I figured it would sell, but I was like, maybe it might not, because it's 160 and it's original art and it's only really a back cover / poster. It's not like a page of art. It's also done by my buddy who, he's more of a graphic designer. So he's not a comic artist. So his name is not like any comic name really. So I was like, maybe it sells, maybe it doesn't. I'm just gonna throw it out there.
Yeah, I kind of understand where your dad's coming from, but there's a part of the comics industry that really loves and thrives on getting original pages of art.
Yes.
you might consider including some in a future project, but I take it
Yep.
everything from this project, all original art.
It's all digital, so
Mm,
yeah.
so you'll
Now, if
basically
I have an artist who does physical, which I do, I am talking with a artist right now on another project that's not Unstitch related. It's a different IP. I know he does back and forth of sometimes he'll do physical, sometimes he'll do digital. Um, and I'm trying to negotiate with him on how much more it would be if he did the cover physical, like drawn and inked, the cover physical. So we might not actually sell interior pages, or we might go, okay, we might sell like 5 out of like the 24, because that one's going to be more or less like a 24 or 32 page issue one shot story. But like the big, more impactful scenes, like certain pages, like, all right, so page 1, it begins with an explosion or whatever. Maybe that one, maybe page 5, 17, more of the exciting action scenes
mhm.
people love and care for in a comic, not just this one is like 3 people talking back and forth and there's nothing really going on, but gee, great, I got original comic art, so
It depends on how crucial or how crucial the conversation is.
yeah, but then you have to go,
Impactful.
you have to think most comic pages, they don't have like word bubbles put in, so you're like, cool, they were talking about something. I don't know what they're talking about, but like this comic art page is from this story, so I gotta look up if I have this actual comic. So you want more exciting pages
Yeah.
to look at. So that one on that project, because I know the artist can do both. Um, I'm talking with him about that, and I'm also still hammering out the script a little bit, like doing some editing on that.
Sure.
So I want to, go, okay, how many action pages do I legitly have that I can go, okay, so this is how many we do, and page this, this, and this, X, Y, Z, or whatever. We're going to do those physical. You can do the rest digital. And on like the physical pages, I would, I'd pay them more or whatever, because send them to me, and we can sell those.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and don't forget down the road when you think about offering pages for sale that double page spreads are very popular.
Oh yeah. Um, they extremely are. I write typically just a 1-page splash page. I'm trying to explore more with my writing or whatever. Going, all right, so this is what I want a double page spread to be. But I can tell you, Unstitched has some cool splash pages in this part 1 version, especially like, I don't want to spoil it, but page
Don't
22.
spoil it.
Page 22 is an amazing splash page.
Cool.
I don't want to spoil it, but when you see it, like, he should have made a post out of that.
Ah. Uh-huh. Interesting.
Which
Yeah.
I might, like, once the camp, I might do, because I see a lot of people use like crypto fashion
Yeah.
in CG, to sell like merchandise, like t-shirts and some posters and stuff, like Hiro Ritter, Von Kloss and stuff. I might put that splash page as an apparel or print on crypto fashion after like the book releases.
Oh, yeah. All right.
That way, while it's out or in being backed and funded and stuff, that reveal splash page doesn't get spoiled or stuff. But once the books start shipping out, then it might be more comfortable going, okay, on this site, here it is, because the book's out now, so it's not as much of a secret reveal being shown, if that makes sense.
Right. I was going to add that you shouldn't feel bad about a family member scooping it up. Are you familiar with the Indiegogo campaign Tilt by Doc Hogg?
Yes. Actually, me and him were on Mandy's show together when I was still promoting the backing list.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, it was his campaign where he had several slots open where you could be like a thug, and you could choose how you wish to be killed. And if I remember, if that's the right one, I'm pretty sure. The top spot was scooped up by his brother. So,
that's cool.
Yeah, so it's perfectly fine. You make it as a tier. Give everyone in the world the opportunity to try and score it for themselves. And if it ends up a family member getting it first, so be it.
Yep.
They deserve it for being the first one to get it.
Which I guess, because it never really left the house, and say that I'm already ahead on fulfillment.
All right. Yeah. Promises made, promises kept.
Yep. I am starting to fulfill things before I even finish the campaign.
Exactly.
Bam Balam, what up?
The only other thing I might suggest is that you consider maybe on future campaigns, or if you release another original print, consider asking for more. Although
the only reason why I offered this much is because, again, it's my buddy Caleb did it, that I went to college with, and he likes drawing comic stuff, but he's more of a graphic designer, and it's not like he has a name in comics.
Right.
So when you have a name in comics, or someone who does comic books, it's a little bit easier to ask for more, because you go, okay, so this is a page from this person. And I also liked, I wanted it to be semi-affordable.
Yeah, that's true.
As well, because Josh Howard has T-Bed and Throttle #4 out on Indiegogo right now. Amazing looking book, and he's an awesome dude. I actually have 2 original pages from him. His original pages, the cheapest is $150.
Okay.
He goes from $150 to 2, maybe 300 or whatever, depending on if it's a cover. It's 300.
All right.
But his stuff's extremely affordable compared to Ethan Van Sciver, who's hey, this cover's 10,000, which he can sell his covers for that much.
Yeah.
Good on him. I
You'll
wish.
be there soon enough. You'll be there soon enough.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's freaking cool.
But if I had someone, if Jason Brubaker, which he also did digital, but if he did physical and he gave me the physical copy, I would have sold that for maybe 2,000.
Oh wow.
Yeah. But Jason Brubaker, he is a big name in indie comics, but he does digital. So.
Right. Yeah. There's just something about that image that is really appealing, and which is why I think there's even greater value. But yeah, cool. I mean, yeah, it's that's very reasonably priced.
Which if you like this art style, and in fact, I know some people, they do, and have said, it looks cool and stuff. Has that, creepy, cute look, which I'm like, that's the whole feel and theme of Unstitched is creepy, cute, or cute, creepy, depending on how you want to reverse it or say it. I might for like if I hit 100 backers, I might commission my buddy Caleb again to do something like, hey, people really and honestly, I love the top half with what he did with the Boogeyman and all the other stuff with it, especially like um, uh, seeing like the on his back the
Are you there? Uh-oh. Sounds like you're kind of breaking up right now. Hello? Uh-oh. Hope I'm not about to lose you. Looks like you're frozen. Can you hear me?
yeah.
All right, I just heard a little bit of you. Hello, hello. Hello, hello.
Yeah.
You're really breaking up bad now. Oh, no. Oh, are you leaving and re-entering? Try and rejoin using that same link if you can hear me. Let's see. Hmm. While we wait for him to return, let me see if he's trying to reach me this way via Twitter. Okay, so we're just gonna chill a little bit. I have a feeling I think I know what's going on. I think he was possibly having a combination of internet issues as well as maybe his phone battery died or is close to dying. So I'm just gonna leave this up some more in the hopes he returns. And meanwhile, I'm gonna try and do some sketches. To try and convey what I was trying to do earlier in terms of what I had in mind for a standee that holds comic books. Okay. Aha! Oh, he's back.
I'm sorry.
Back, back,
I had a like I was gonna pull up like a close up of the poster for you, and then Photoshop wanted to go, hey, by the way, you know, it'd be really cool and very inconvenient if I start updating. I'm like, no Photoshop, no. And I was like, I'm gonna start updating. You cool with that? No, I'm not cool. Well, I'm gonna do it anyways.
Is it all cloud based now?
Yep.
Oh man. And it doesn't give you any option to.
Well, you can actually save some things to the computer, but yeah, it's a lot of cloud base.
Right. But I mean, it doesn't give you an option to install or update later.
It does, but because it was starting to do it in the background and stuff, and I didn't notice it, it wanted to freeze my computer while I try to tell it no.
Okay.
But you know, it was also like, hey, we just discovered there's an update you need. We're gonna do it now because you updated your computer like 2 days ago. So this is a brand new patch or whatever. How inconvenient for you!
For sure. For sure. I was just trying to throw together some kind of little sketch here. I don't know. Maybe what I described was enough for you to get the gist of what I had in mind regarding a possible standee. Oh wait, that's way off. What's going on?
So I'm in the I have my laptop in like the dining room just because the lighting's a lot better than my room because of the windows and the natural lighting and stuff. But my cousin's my roommate, and he's eating like whipped cream out of the can from like the in the kitchen. And he's like, "See, would you want a shot of whipped cream?" I'm like, "I'm good, I'm good." So then he tries to do another shot, and like he completely misses his mouth and gets like his chin in his shirt.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, shit. Pretty funny. Yeah, this is a horrible rendition, but you know how you could have like dioramas or pop-up books?
Yes.
How you've got the original back image, then you've got a layer kind of sandwiched over it, like separated by like a piece of foam or something.
Yeah.
And or even greeting cards. A lot of greeting cards do this nowadays. And then it gives you depth. And then maybe you have another piece of foam, and then the thing near the foreground is up close, right?
Yeah.
So something kind of along those lines is what I was trying to do.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So you got the backing, which is the original. I got to remember my left is right and right is left.
Yeah.
The original cover has this the darkness, and so you got some of it cut out, but of course you got to have enough like clouds or something in the sky to give it rigidity and strength. But then the arms, when they come out, they'll be printed as part of the original image, but at the same time you then have overlapping it like another layer, a portion here that's raised off of the back with foam, and then you have the forearm with the claw raised up off of that one with more foam.
I like this idea. I might not do it with this campaign, but I might toy around with it while this campaign's going on and see how I can do it or what I can do, like for future stuff, because I like this.
And then this would be just like cloud and smoke kind of enveloping the front of the standee, and then the side would have the artwork from the original cover, where I don't know if you can see my mouse cursor when I move it around here.
No, right now I just see you and
all right, all right, so let me see. Do you see the
yeah,
mouse?
now I can move your mouse cursor, yeah.
So on the sides, you'll have, for example, this creature here, these creatures coming in from the sides. And then the other side of the standee would have these. And then you'd also have behind those creatures the piles of unstitched teddies and so on. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So that's what I was trying to explain, but I didn't think I was getting the message across. Or at least it wasn't making sense the way I was explaining it to me. All right. So let's see. So that was all right. So hopefully we get some more backers. All right. So again, this is issue number 1, and issue number 2 would be on the second campaign.
Yep, and that will complete the story of Unstitched, but it won't complete the saga of Unstitched. What I kind of want to do, and I kind of got like slight inspiration on Mike Mignola, with Hellboy
All right.
is more or less like you don't have to quite read Hellboy in order. It helps obviously, and if you read Unstitched in order, like the complete thing, cool. But each story being a
Self-contained.
yes, self-contained story. Just here, there, random stuff. And I do know, like, because I'm already plotting the second story, because I've already plotted or have the script. Sorry, for part 1 and 2 done. So the script, obviously the script's done for part 1. If we're almost done with all the art. But script's done for the second half as well, because I initially wrote this as 120 pages. We just broke it up in half. And I'm gonna probably do that, but with a more conscience on like a breaking point for like 48 and 50 on the next one. But the next one's gonna be called Unstitched, Dreams in Despair.
Oh, cool. Cool.
And that's kind of how I'm gonna go. No, I don't know. Also, Sebastian A. Jones. He's the owner and of Stranger Comics.
Okay.
He has a series that he created and he writes called Niobe. And in fact, HBO they were starting to film TV episodes of this. But with COVID hitting, I think yes, of Niobe. And you can like mostly he does Kickstarters for Stranger Comics. And in fact, he's like really good buddies with Brian Polito of like Coffin Comics with like the creative Lady Death. But what he does is he has like you have Niobe, killing Floyd. Niobe, she is life. Niobe, she is death. Niobe, where it's different. Like it's the main title, and then it's like a subtitle underneath.
Yeah. Like different chapters.
Yes, and that's what I'll probably be doing with the Unstitched series is like Unstitched, and then like Dreams in Despair, Unstitched. Insert some name I've not thought of yet.
As opposed to doing like a number at the end.
Yeah.
Okay. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, the only reason I'm into the numbers is so
I might do the numbers like once I do like the collected editions. Have numbers on those like one.
Hello?
But with with these parts, I probably won't have the numbers when I do like these parts. Besides saying, "Hey, this is part 1 of 2," or and this is 2 of 2. But on the collected versions, I will have the actual like on the side or the spine.
Book
one. Yep, 1, 2, 3. Because I'm a big fan. I am a big fan of numbers. But I also do kind of like the idea of like subtitle names with the title name.
Yeah.
And I do think that's one reason why like manga is doing better than mainstream comics as well as if you want to pick up One Piece, which holy crap, good luck on you now. It is numbered like 1 through 400 and something in order, rather than going, hey, Spider-Man's gonna reboot after issue 50, or we're gonna randomly go, hey, this one is like issue 23, but legacy number, it's also issue 800. Yeah. And so you're like, wait, is this issue 20 or is it 800? It's both. It's 20 in the storyline by this artist and writer, but it's also 800 overall. That seems very confusing and very
yeah.
And I love comics, but it's stuff like that. I'm like that's what makes that's the barrier of entry that makes it difficult and confusing. Going, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And then like then you go, okay, so am I going for 801. No, it's now issue 21 again
Right.
because they go off the story and create it, and only if they hit like big legacy marks of like 100 or like every 50 or something like that, they'll go, now this is 850 or 900, and then it's back to 20 something, 30 something, whatever with that artist and creative team, and you're like, this makes absolutely no sense.
Yeah, that's why it's confusing for a lot of people trying to get into comics, trying to see what's there, and hitting these bizarre things like renumbering and stuff just throws everything.
Yeah. I want to get Captain Marvel #1. Okay, which one? There's like 20 #1s.
Yeah,
What do you
really.
mean there's 20 #1s? Is it like different covers? No. These are different #1 stories. We just keep rebooting it. That what? No, just give me #1. There's 20 #1s.
Yeah, it's insane. It's
And I think that's one reason why all right, so DC does like the Black Label stuff.
mhm.
I do get a few Black Labels because they're typically about like 3 issues. They're premium. They're like about 48, 56 pages. They're larger than a normal, and it's typically 3 issues with the Black Label stuff, and it's done because it's Elseworld stories or whatever. So it's like, all right, Batman Damn was only like 3 issues, but each issue was like I think 50 pages or something like that.
All right.
But after like issue 3, it was done. That was the story. So stuff like that, I'm willing to back because it's like, all right, that's 1, 2, 3 done. Rather than like you have like in continuity in the main universe, it's like, all right, you have all these weird different numbers. You don't know what to do, and that's one reason why, for the most part, I either back crowdfunding or I'll do like indie stuff through like Image or Dark Horse or whatever, where it's like, all right, they're not really going to reboot this because it's an indie project or, it's Image. So it's 1, 2, 3, you can follow in order going, okay, which #1 is this? No, it's 1 #1. Just follow through. And I think the last main Marvel book I followed was like Jason Aaron's Thor, which began out amazing. It had ups and downs, but I think it got because the company rebooted its direction of like Marvel now, Marvel all new, all different, Marvel because the company tried to rebrand its marketing pitch. Thor got like #1s through each of those, and you're like, okay, so one creator is doing a whole story. He's not even rebooting it. He never rebooted it. He just continues with the story, but he has like 3 #1s. What? No, just let him have his numbers. So if you weren't picking it up live like I was, it's very hard to go, all right, I want Jason Aaron's Thor. Where what do I get? Because it's just that you have these weird number schemes, and I think that's one thing that definitely hurts like Marvel and DC. And I get they've been around 80 years, so I think they're afraid of having like numbers in like the thousands or whatever. But
yeah, it's sad the direction they went.
Yeah.
It's disappointing. But what's not disappointing is Unstitched, part 1 of 2.
Yes, and trust me, it's gonna be amazing. There's gonna be like silly, cute moments, and then there's gonna be definitely some darker, creepier moments. And if you loved Rise of the Guardians, Coraline, like Secret of Nymph, stuff like that, Toy Story, and especially like the original Toy Story when you get to like Sid's room and you see his toys where he's kind of like played Frankenstein with him and they look a little bit creepy.
Yep.
You're gonna love Unstitched.
All right, let's play the trailer video once more.
Yep.
Fear takes form in the darkness. The darkness feeds off screams. Fear is the enemy of childhood wonderment, built on hopes and dreams. So remember, in the terror of night, to protect the child, protect the light. Try not to become unstitched.
Hi, I'm Dutton, writer and creator of Unstitched. It's a brand new story that was created by inspiration of my niece, my love of 80s, like dark, gritty Don Bluth films. And in fact, that's what Unstitched is. It's a dark fantasy, all ages story. It's a mix of Rise of the Guardians, Toy Story, and Coraline, all put together. I have a talented, wonderful artist named Laura Rimbas-Humberty. She's even doing one of the covers. The other cover is a variant done by the highly talented Jason Brubaker. You know him from Remind, from Sithra, plenty of other things. Unstitched, part 1 of 2 is coming out soon. It's going to be 48 pages, with part 2 being 50-some pages later on. We got some cool tiers with the book, besides just getting 1 or 2 covers. You can either get this as a poster. This original art piece will also be for sale. And if you don't get the poster, this will also be the back cover as well. We have a mini print that's going to be on the higher tiers, like the 150 tier, which this is going to be a teddy bear based off the Boogeyman with the glow-in-the-dark eyes, limited to 10. You get both covers, this poster, and a mini print.
So on the doll, the stuffing material is sewn in, right?
Yes.
All right. So cool. Oh man. I wanted to thank you, Justin, for coming on the show.
Thank you. Anytime you want to have me back, I would love to come back.
Oh, most definitely. And most definitely, this is a cool project, and definitely looking forward to this this getting fully funded. Now, am I understanding right? You're still within the first 30 days of the campaign?
Yes, I'm within the first 30 days, so I can extend it another 30.
And then, do you anticipate doing that? And then after the second
yeah.
30, all right. And then after the second 30, go in demand?
Yes.
All right.
But I do want to try to ship out and have books in hand by like January or earlier. So my in-demand phase won't be as long as many other titles where it's like it's been in demand for like 8 months or something like that. Because I know, like, you know, there's some campaigns where I'm not gonna say names, but you know, they're like massively late. It's still in demand. It's been like a year or 2 years, something like that. You know, and that was the whole point of, hey, you should definitely back my book because the art's completely done, or was almost done when I launched 11 days ago. So, you know, like there's no reason for me to really be late besides weird 2020 issues because of COVID or riots, or who knows, we might have alien dinosaurs come from the sky. It's been a weird year, so that's the only reason I could predict being late or mildly late of missing the January goal of things are taking long to ship because of COVID or some, who knows, we might have new alien tyrannical overlords.
You never know.
Never know. But definitely, all the arts, like I said, we page 47 of 48 is done. We just got to color it and then just do the last page.
Sweet. Yeah, that's what's
And then we got to letter everything, which lettering doesn't take too long. Minor edits, and then boom, print done. In your hands. Delivered by Gemini mailers. Make sure those bad boys are safe.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's what a lot of what I'm hearing from a lot of campaigns as a suggestion. Do your best to get as much of the book as you can done, or at least in progress, but before you open your campaign, and that way you stand a greater chance of getting it fulfilled faster.
Yeah, and because we're almost done with this, if I hit, if we hit backing, then I can go ahead and we can start working on part 2. So while part 1's in demand, we're already getting pages done on the second half. So by the time we ship out, I can launch, and we might not be as done as part 1 of having like 44 pages done of art, but we might have 12 pages done. We might have 16 pages done.
Yeah, as long as you get a head start.
Yep. So, I do plan on, again, we have 1 page left. We still have plenty of time. So I definitely expect mid-July, we're going to start working on part 2 on the art.
In terms of the Unstitched saga, how many books total do you envision it being in the end?
In truth, it was just 1.
Okay.
When I began this out, because I took it as a challenge,
Mm-hmm.
it was initially just 1. But there was one page that I wrote, and that kind of inspired doing more. And if you want, I can actually share that page.
Yeah.
Go
for it.
And especially once I got the art for this page, it solidified. Okay, I want to do more in this world. Boom, here we go. This is page 36. And right here, we have like the Dream King. He comes to Eleanor's room. Eleanor right now is napping. And like the Dream King is kind of giving a warning of to our Teddy that, hey, you're going against the darkness. You are a new Teddy, so you're kind of like a rookie. You don't understand how bad the darkness really is. And he explains, back in the day, there actually used to be 3 Dream Kings, not just him. And one of them became darkness, and then swallowed and devoured the other Dream King, and it's now just him. And I don't know why, but like the one of them becoming like the darkness and swallowing the other one, that is what inspired and made me go, okay, I want to create more. I want to create more stories in this universe, because that made me go, all right, I thought of the sequel. I've thought of a prequel.
Cool.
So I know at least right now, again, I'm plotting the second one, and I do have about I have maybe four major books thought of currently, and the more I enjoy, and it definitely if sales are there and demand is there, this could be like my version of Hellboy. Of as long as people want more, I'll make more. But definitely right now I have a good solid one is done. I'm working on two, and I'm starting to play with an idea for like a third one.
Cool.
But on that one, I'm like, maybe I'll wait for my nephew, who he's one, and I started Unstitched the first book when my niece was one, and she's 3. Well, she was like almost 2 at the time, so she's 3 now. So I might on that third one change things up depending on how my nephew acts, because at 3, kids have a personality, so you can kind of start to write them a little bit more. But with my nephew being 1, he's learning still to walk and all this other stuff. So, he knows how to walk now, but I want more of his personality to come through, and then I'll play with book 3. But
All right.
by then he'll be older.
Cool.
Yep.
Thank you again, Justin, for being on the show. Definitely want to have you on again. Would you share with the audience how they could reach you or find you?
Absolutely. On Twitter at Justin Dutton 18. I also have a Facebook, but I don't do too much on it, in all honesty. And I will be doing more on my YouTube channel, which is also my name, Justin Dutton. Which right now I just have the launch trailer for Unstitched, but with my internet doing better, I can start doing more on that.
Right on. All right.
And don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment for Wise Guys Entertainment.
Thanks so much, man.
Wonderful host.
You can find me on Twitter at Wise Guys Tweets, on Twitch under Wise Guys Twitches, and Wise Guys Entertainment on YouTube. Thanks everyone for being on. Thank you for checking out the video. As he said, like, comment, and subscribe. Mark the bell for notifications. And a warm thanks again for Mr. Dutton here. And definitely go back to that book. Let's get it fully funded.
Oh, yeah.
Broadcast in 3.